All right, so a lot of people are interested and concerned about the long run effects of playing American football. And there's been a lot of work recently looking at, in particular, the effects of American football, or the association between American football, rather, and the potential for traumatic brain injury going forward. And so we were really interested in that question, but a real challenge is professional football players are totally different than the rest of us. They are training in a sport that is unique, and have achieved a level of fitness that is beyond certainly what I could imagine. And so for a number of years we were thinking about how do we actually answer this question? Does participating in professional football impact long-term health? And for that you need a good control group, but because they're so different than us, it's hard to find one. So a few years ago we came up with an insight, which was to look at a group of players that only participated in professional football for at most 3 games because of the accident of a player strike in 1987. What happened was the regular players walked that year, and NFL teams hired these replacement players to participate for 3 games. So these are people that are trained in football. They've had probably up to that point, they've played high school, college football, but they didn't play professional football. And so what we thought was, this is a great comparison group if we're interested in understanding what are the differences in health that may accrue from participating in professional football versus not doing so. Our main findings were that professional football players had a 38% higher risk of death at any given point of time relative to a group of people that had some football experience but had just not played professionally for that extent. We also found differences in the causes of death, namely among the deaths we had in professional football players, 7 were from ALS, and in our control group we didn't find any deaths from ALS. The caveat to our results is that the groups of people we followed were still young at the time we finished following them, and as a result we can't be statistically certain that these differences are actual differences. What we would argue is that if you see any kind of difference, even at this margin of professional versus not, that should be something that's interesting and concerning and may speak to what might be larger consequences of playing professional football if you were able to record it over the entire course of life. So that's our study, and we hope you check it out.